Yeah, well, double elimination means different things in different languages. We'll take a look at our bracket here to see which map we end up playing on. And of course, best of ones. I know we've recovered from BO3s over the weekend. We'll have Border and Consulate, the auto-banned maps. And where will we go to? Kafe Dostoyevsky.
Oh, this definitely favors Navi. So these teams have played it a total 3 times between them. Chaos lost 4-7 when they played it. But that was against LFO. So to be fair, that's against a strong team.
Pretty tough game.
Navi, however, have gone 7-4 on it twice. Once against G2.
Does that even say much?
I mean, still, like once against G2 and once against Penta, they've shown consistency on it. And that's the thing, is that either Chaos are reading into their, the strats, or I don't know. You guys think Navi will win as well. So, I mean, obviously you didn't know what the map was going to be, but it surprises me actually, given how much strength Chaos showed during the qualifiers, that they wouldn't be the favorite team, but a lot of confidence in Navi.
Yeah, it's a pretty big fan base in the squad itself and the players themselves, which is very understandable, but I agree, this game has the potential to draw it out.
It certainly could be. This could be our first draw of the day, and maybe not our last. I could see LFO Empire also going draw.
Definitely true.
We've definitely had a fair amount of draws across regions, especially NA, but also a few in EU as well, so.
Yeah, so far in EU we've had, three draws. That's actually not many. It's pretty darn low. But let us head into game, and Kafe Dostoyevsky, of course, our first map of the evening.
Yeah, so this should be a good one. Again, I've talked about it quite a few times, but I want to see if someone can really have a good adaptation for defending Kitchen, because I don't know, haven't been seeing it still. Even when I say that, I keep waiting to get proven wrong, but it's not undefendable, but it certainly doesn't seem to be a site that works super great, and I think some of that's down to the way vertical play factors in. Habana, first ban here coming out from Navi. Now, that's what they banned also against Penta. But when they went against G2, they banned Lion. So, interesting switch up there.
Yeah, we looked at that and we're like, did they just give them a free ban?
There goes poor Capital.
Yeah. Now, with the Monty left unchecked, I think Chaos would definitely go for the operator since they're starting on the attack.
They also will play that on Clash on defense as well. So, could get banned.
They're very well known for the shields, that's for sure. Castle ban.
Well, that's an odd choice.
Wow.
I mean, maybe that's going to be somewhat for
Reading
Kitchen.
room is gonna. Reading room and Kitchen both are sites that are very heavily affected by the castle, but Kitchen specifically, as you say, Maestro is the last.
This is also what they banned against Penta. So, they completely different bans than against G2, but these worked against Penta pretty well. But it's interesting that you're going to have both the Mira and the Echo available. So that's two of the most consistently banned defenders suddenly available. That plus shields in play. This should be very interesting from both teams. Bar to start with no surprise. And not banning Lion means Crips is just going to take that, although I could see a 6th pick from it. Mozzie coming out from Citizen, a good choice. Waiting for those initial 6th picks, but not sure if anyone will come out. But first round especially tends to, there we go. There's the 6th pick to the IQ from the line, and the Mirror to come out after all. Good lineup from both teams here. The IQ, a good choice, especially given they've seen that Mozzie is in play and the Mute. Being able to spot those ahead of time helps, as well as the ADSs. It doesn't change a ton, but they have a Thatcher, so they can do things to dispatch those from above, since they know the first site is going to be bar. You can play the IQ safely on the roof, spot gadgets out, try and Thatcher as many as possible, and I think that's a big help. Also, if there's any gadgets that happen to be around the hatch drop, like let's say, for example, pests, near the hatch drops where you're going to often throw down drones, being able to spot those ahead of time does help quite a bit, because once you throw down your drone and then all of a sudden detect the pest, you can be in a world of trouble, because not much you can do at that point to avoid it. So I like the extra ability to spot those.
That Mira play is extremely interesting. The bathroom is a position that's usually a bit more difficult to find. This setup is run in the past. You could compare it to how Rogue ran this at Invitational 2018. I know it's a bit of a different site, but in general, that setup around the fridge was not too dissimilar to it. We saw the even side-by-side mirror window. Like,
if you're going to copy anyone, copy Rogue on Kafe.
That's actually a very good point. But because we don't see Mira as much, it's not always the case where we get to have Mira being played.
Can we take a look and see if the second mirror window is set up as well? Because I didn't see it earlier. And
is it in the back? Yes, it is.
Oh, there we go.
This is so classic. This is 2017, 2018 strats.
And you already have that entire side of the map pretty well secure most of the time with the heaven spot, the balcony above, reading. And so it's, yeah, that's just going to continue to make that side of the map strong. But that means a white stairs push even more useful if they can pull it off, but they didn't bring a shield.
And this strat actually counters over-reliance on hard breachers and anti-play, but it doesn't matter when you got a grenade.
Merry Christmas.
A Happy New Year. It's the mute being blasted away. And the womp into piano from the red stairs.
What a great trade, a grenade to take out a C4.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty you don't have 2 nitro cells. You only got 1.
Yeah, and he still has another grenade to go. Secretly, interestingly, rather than being on the buck, he's actually giving that to Vidalin. He's going to be playing Thermite. So this is definitely a change-up as well. Although it worked out fine for Vidalin, I have to say.
Citizen is running barbed wire and not nitro cell. That's actually an oddity.
Especially when he's playing below the site.
Krips is on the hunt for exactly that. They don't have dedicated roam clear here, Chaos, but Krips has definitely been known for fragging out quite heavily in the past. Kendrew setting up the crossfire upstairs to help out Doki. This is why you play with so many soft walls inside of the fridge.
Yeah, Kendrew is definitely worried about this flank from behind. He's got to play pretty safe. I mean, he has that entire hard wall to be able to stay safe behind, but if he goes to peek through any of the holes that he has, he'll get shot from behind. Citizen, though, speaking of getting shot, taken out secretly, and that's the hard breach down. That means Mirror's going to be a lot safer in that freezer, but Krips gets in a fight with he loses.
Well done, but he's low on HP. Krips unsure of where his opponent was. There's no drone to scout things out for him. Doki will find renewals and leaves Vidalin and Red Groove as the last 2 alive against the 4 of Navi. The flexible defense works out well here with so many softballs being employed by Navi. Doki will actually go a bit further out and wander into piano. Checking into Cigar. His opponent doesn't know where he's at. That's the kill. Vidalin will have to drop on his found Kendrew, but Citizen saving the day again, and there's a reason why Citizen has been having so many opening kills.
So we talked about the castle ban probably being for the lower 2 floors. Let's hope for Chaos' sake that pays off, because it certainly, leaving Mira on the board did not pay off there that round for Chaos. They got just destroyed by it, and they couldn't find a pick on the other side. I mean, if you're going to kill anyone with nades, the nades really should have been more dedicated to taking out that Mira spot, or at least pressuring. They also should have brought some more utility to be able to clear it, a Zofia even, for example, but they didn't really have any utility to make that work. They didn't have the roam clear, as you mentioned, or dedicated roam clear op. They just didn't have the tools. And a hard breach is great until they open up that entire soft wall on freezer, and suddenly now Thermite doesn't have much to do, and you're actually kind of in a tricky spot. So just really well played by Navi in terms of their strategy, and Chaos not being prepared for it. It surprises me we're not seeing the shield play from them yet, though. That would have been perfect the first round to play a shield, especially if you could push up white securely. That would have put so much pressure onto the Mira, and then you pressure also from the other side from the window like they were. Nowhere to go at that point.
That's what was needed with the IQ. You needed to clear the bottom. And Citizen played excellently in and around pillars to fall back into reading room. Had there been a drone to ease things in for the IQ Krips, this round would have ended up in a bit of a different manner, as speaking of matching.
Only change here for Chaos on the attack is bringing the Twitch instead here. Not sure that's going to do a ton for them.
I love this soft play so much. Honestly, like, destroying walls, playing against them, shooting out feet holes where you force your opponents. It really is what makes Siege Siege. That destruction. Without it, it's not really the same game now, is it? And being employed in this way is always so. I find that so curious every single time, because obviously, as a very intelligent, famous person once said, those holes, they work both ways.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere. I think it was a fortune cookie.
Fortune cookie, indeed. But it's very scary for a lot of attackers, actually, to see so many soft walls. Because they're like, how do we actually deal with this? Because suddenly we don't have the safety, at least, of having this hard surface where we can't get shot through.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is banning the castle can also work against Chaos in that respect too, because castles also work both ways in terms of attackers using them to know that a flank is mostly secure, and castle usually requires an impact nade to open those quickly. Secretly though, again going to be on the Thermite, again going to play for the red wall, is going to start to pressure Citizen, but Citizen not even going to take the pressure. Instead of, although I would love to see him switch to the shorty here, but no, he's going to play. That's diffuser down now. What an aggressive play. Gets away with the renewals, not covering his teammate. You don't take red wall solo without coverage and a claymore.
There's nobody there. The support and Chaos are making some pretty grave and basic mistakes as Doki will find another kill, taking away Crips, someone that has been well known for being a huge player for Chaos. Able to pick up many rounds and kills for them. Fortunately, those two are away, and it's up to Renewals, Veteline, and Redgroove to try and recover.
They'll get the diffuser back, but at what cost in time?
They've taken the train now downstairs, so you can move in. There you go. We're by the steam engine. There's nobody there. You see the body of the IQ on the floor, and Vitaline is just opening things up. This might turn into an A push, but it's perfect still for Navi. You're funneling Chaos in.
Well, that's those soft walls now all of a sudden work for a retake strategy as well, because now they can shoot in from the outside, something that obviously Chaos would have loved to take advantage of, but with no one in there, now all of a sudden they work against them on a plan.
Smoke's being thrown in, and Redgroove will find a kill on Nello. Says a bit too slow here to turn around into the hallway as Kendra is playing close up. Redgroove, another one on Doki, and Vitaline finding the shot on Kendra. This it can save the day here for Navi, as now they're down to 2 players. The round's been getting a bit too close here, but there's a decent amount of time, and the drone was in use. Vitaline instantly flicks around and finds Citizen, leaving only Saves alive here on the recovery. He's got a Nitro Cell in hand, so not an impossibility, but he needs the information. With no Maestro available, you're kind of starved for it. Beautiful Nitro Cell here with 10 seconds left. He's eyeing down the one entryway. Saved will find one more kill on Renault's. It's up to the 1v1. Vitaline, where he push? He will, but Vitaline clutches it, saves, shoots right to his side. Oh my, the buck. You gotta be counting your lucky stars, my man.
That was 50-50 right there. That really was. That really came down to who hit their shot the best in terms of where they hit. And I'm honestly surprised that Chaos pulled that off. That was just barely a save. Ironically, on Saves, who really did almost make it work there. Vitaline, though, and Redgroove completely salvaging that round without those two, especially Redgroove's early 2 picks really making a difference. It's unfortunate that Navi, they had such a great setup, and then towards the end started kind of squandering it the way they were playing in situations where the softballs actually started working against them. They're going to tease that Clash for Kitchen here. Actually, Clash isn't too bad for Kitchen, but they want the Mira more. And they're continuing to hide that. But a Mira and an Echo now being employed from Navi. This is going to be tricky, because now all of a sudden Bakery, while you may be able to take it, if there is the Echo in there, you won't necessarily be safe. They'll be able to spot you pretty easily, which I think is important, because most of the time what happens on Kitchen is walls get opened and you're bunkered down behind a lot of the shelves, a lot of the cabinets, things like that, to try and hide and wait for the angles and the peaks. If you have the Echo drone, as well as you obviously have Mira windows set up, you can peek when it's most advantageous to you and not get pressured too much. And obviously they have grenades to be able to pressure you, but that's about it. They don't really have any other utility. No Capital, for example, and only one set of the grenades. No Zofia, no Ash. There's actually some good stuff for Navi to work with here. They've also got Doki on the dock to fight those long angles, along with the Echo, who hopefully won't overpeak too much. But overall, this setup, at least in terms of operators, I definitely like coming out of Navi here, and this is going to be a struggle for Chaos. I gotta imagine they might want to consider just coming from the back. A very effective strategy we did see come out from SSG, if I remember correctly, with their Monty strats coming from behind.
Yeah, you have at least the hallway that you can clear out on your own and make sure that nobody pushes your opponent or your teammates that are so busy opening up the freezer in the back to enter the kitchen. So yeah, that is actually a very good strategy.
Why have they not played the Monty, at this point? Because I think both rounds they could have taken advantage of it, because those soft walls, for example, being opened in the second one, well, that's where Monty can stand there and watch.
In the very first round, the strategy employed by Navi to open up the fridge is usually one that works very well against the Monty, but in the second one, I believe, yeah, you're very true. I mean, it could have really gone away, and that's...
Good catch.
That's the downside of the Mira. It's the same thing if you look at Villa. There's so much destruction, and Coastline as well. Those Mira windows are in very dire positions. There's some holes being prepped here for grenade play.
This is part of the reason why I was saying Kitchen, I think, works against the defenders on vertical play, because they're rarely going to be able to hold this upstairs area very securely, and there's almost always a buck or someone that's going to open it up, and all of a sudden now you're getting pressured horizontally and vertically, and there's nowhere for you to go. You can't drop down another level to rotate. You're already on the bottom floor. You just get pinned down.
There we go, grenade play as player in the back has been spotted, but no. ADS is going to catch it. Crips will find one. Doki onto Secretly, though. That's right at the front door. Saw that Chaos are putting so much pressure onto the top floor, but that's really what you need to make sure that your buck is not lost. A lot of time has been lost for only the Jaeger. The Thermite being lost is not great, even with so many soft walls preset by Navi. You still have pretty easy ways to get into the site without requiring set operator.
Well, they're definitely opening up a ton of angles. It's just time that's kind of dwindling away here. They did lose their hard breacher, and that's a big problem. Skeleton Key actually completely drained to open all of this up. But at the same time, I think they have enough holes at this point to be able to make it work, but I'm sure they would love to have the extra power. But now those holes can be used as well for the ACOG players from the Echo and the Doc as well, which are both still alive. I mean, they only lost the Jaeger, so it's not a huge loss, and time is dwindling.
Yeah, 25 seconds. You're looking to play the smoke right now. Doki finds 1 and 2 as well. That's a triple kill for him in the round. Mirror window has been popped before, but there's only 2 left for you from Chaos to push into a site that is so notorious being easy for the defenders to kind of just sit in. And here we are, saves, and Nello will find the last 2 kills on Vidlian and Redgroove, and that's the end of it. Navi turtle down on the site, but also make sure that they control the shoe closet. Look at how many rotation positions they have preset, how many soft walls that confused Chaos, and Chaos put so much emphasis on that top floor, but got almost nothing out of it.
Here's my huge problem with Chaos right now.
Go.
First off, you play Navi on one of their best maps.
Fair enough.
It's, yes, you might have seen their strats, but at the same time, they know the map very well, clearly. They also have seen other regions play it, like Rogue, as you mentioned. Got other ideas. They have flexible ways of playing it. Second off, you put Secretly on Thermite. Yes, he had a rough time with Buck at the qualifiers, but who's dying first most of the time? Secretly on Thermite, because you know why? He's used to playing an entry frag role. You don't throw an entry frag player with strong entry frag strats on Thermite and then wonder, why is he dying so early? Why can we not open any walls? And why are these soft walls now working against us? You know who'd be great against these soft walls? Buck. You know who plays Buck? Secretly. So, I don't know. They're just not adapting. And Navi are completely taking advantage of the castle ban. There may have been a really good strat for that, but it is not helping them in the slightest right now.
No, not at all. And actually, maybe you'd love to have a castle right now to for the defenders, so they can, so that can be used against them.
And I mean, even the round Chaos won was like a 50-50 coin flip at the end. Who was going to win that? So I wouldn't call that a definite win for Chaos. They absolutely could have just as easily lost that round. Just the way that Navi are playing it. Navi clearly understand the angles on this map and the way to play them much better than Chaos. And then the way the defender bans went really favored them. So I gotta wonder though, will Chaos have some good strats for the Mira and the Echo that makes up for this? I mean, they're not playing the Mira this round, which is interesting because it was so effective last time, but I gotta imagine, so they 6-picked it the first round, right? Navi are thinking, okay, Chaos didn't know that was coming. Now they're prepared for it. They will take advantage of it. They will nade behind, things like that. So let's not do it. And that's actually the smart play here. Unfortunately, the IQ is going to get brought out again, which means now Kendrew is going to have to really struggle to keep those yokais in places where they can't get picked off when IQ can kind of stand safely.
And obviously, those soft walls that are set in piano or through piano to the freezer and to the bathroom, those are set just because you had the Mira. Otherwise, it's very dangerous to play that sort of setup.
Chaos might be able to take this round. They have the utility for it this time, I think.
Yeah, this is more of a standard way of playing it. Oh no, Secretly dropped again! Almost for free here as Doki is able to find a few shots.
At this point, just put him on Ash or something if you really don't want him on Buck.
He's back up to 20 HP now, and there's some pressure to be put on Doki. Vidlian will drone him out. Citizen's going to go and fight against the Repel. There's nobody out here. It's going to be detected and will fall back down to the side and actually go all the way down for rotate, probably off of Brown Stairs, which is a very safe strategy to do.
Yep. Crips is going to be so important to spot this yokai, otherwise it's going to be a real problem. At least Secretly getting back up, he's able to actually do some work here.
Oh! Doki on the cross. He takes so much damage from the Buck who pre-fires into him. And now we're suddenly at an equilibrium in an HP, but it's a minute left and there's still yokais available. And Citizen is still roaming downstairs with that P10 Roni. Weird how it got back to the initial
I gotta wonder why he's not going with the C4, because he's always playing down below and the barbed wire isn't seeming to have a huge effect, although that certainly does.
Citizen will nab the kill on Vitaly and then eliminate the buck, as solo player by those east windows is usually a recipe for disaster, and we'll see the same gunfight as before.
Oh.
It's head level, perfect from Crips. He'll find the kill on Citizen, not a moment too soon. A second one on Nello. This might just be the opener. There's still one more playing downstairs in the laundry. Doki will find Red Groove, and Kedru with another on the Crips, leaving Renewals on his own with the F2. He can win the round in this way. He's got the P9 in hand. He finds one player on the floor, finds the headshot on saves. Needs to pick up the diffuser. Little time left. He has to choose between dropping or going for the play, and there's a Yokai drone. Oh no, this round is as good as dead. Oh no, he kills it! Renewals goes for it. There's still a second Yokai. Is it the last second? Yes, it will be. Goes into fire, and that deletes the whole round. Well done, Navi! A clutch play on the Echo, and Crips ran right next to the Echo in laundry. Oh my god!
Why did he keep moving it, though? That really could have cost it.
I swear.
The second Yokai.
I swear. He comes back. Crips watches this round again, and he is going to have an aneurysm.
Yeah, that was not great. But you know what? Really well played by Navi, who managed to bring it back enough. But the important thing is the Echo didn't overplay early on in terms of trying to overpeak, things like that. Stayed alive and saved them the round, because too many fights were lost there by Navi, although they had quite a few to bring it back. And the fact that they also brought it to only one player left alive forced a situation where the Echo could win. Had it been two alive, for example, second player could have been watching and seen the Yokai drone rotate, would have been able to shut that down, especially if it was an IQ, for example, still alive. So just, I mean, the trades there working out in favor of Kendrew. One of them, of course, from him. But wow, look at that. Doki up there at 8, Citizen at 5, just some members of Navi here really showing up secretly, unfortunately. Again, having a not-so-great day. But at least he got the wall open before dying. We'll see him try reading again here, though. Citizen hopefully going to stay alive a little bit longer. It was a little too predictable, unfortunately, for him, the way he played the reading room the same way again. Because, of course, they read into that this time. And you gotta expect that that's going to happen. Like, you can only get away with that once before they're going to be aiming head level, like you said, right before they come around that corner.
And it was purely predicted. Citizen, at this point, his position is known.
Yeah.
It's not like you need to drone him out to know exactly where he's at, because that's literally the only other safe position you're going to have for your own players.
I like the Legion coming out here because time management has been an issue for Chaos, and there's trying to... A lot of times, Crips is trying to kind of stealthily clear the floors. Legion Mines are definitely going to make that harder, because it's going to give a warning to a lot of the players to move their positions. I mean, assuming they don't challenge it inappropriately, they're, it gives them an opportunity for Crips to get spotted and for them to run away, so that he can't stealthily approach the same way. He is still going to be important because the Yokais are still in play here. That means Kendrew needs to stay alive towards the end of the round because, well, that's what saved the last round. So, although to be fair, with the plant at 0-0, like, he could just run around the corner as well.
So now Chaos have a ton of work to put, and actually it's a 1-1 trade. Okay, Renewals finds Doki, but it's again secretly eliminated.
Worth it. Worth it now. Just the hard destructor, there's no duplicate for.
Every time it's been the same way. Secretly dies right after the wall is opened up in piano.
Why are you entering so by yourself at that point?
I think he's just being shot the instant he's there. Navi is just prepping for him. Oh, speaking of prep, Vitaly finds Citizen as that player was prepped, forcing the Mozzie back. And we turn into Chaos with an advantage. Oh, the C8 all over the place.
You need the DMR at that point. Just tap fire it super quick. I like the long angles again being played. A lot of P-Cole ACOG play we're seeing from these guys. Oh, Mozzie drone.
Yeah.
I would hope. Otherwise, that's a really big misplay.
Was it? It was in blue. Oh,
yeah, that's one of the teammates watching through it, I think.
Vitaly will find Kendrew. That's actually an odd one. I hope that there was... I mean, Mozzie was already dead. And that was
I mean, a teammate watching through the Mozzie's drone. I'm pretty sure is when it shows up blue. Could be wrong on that, but that's definitely... See, yellow is there for the attackers.
Renewals will find the kill on saves, and Goo Mines are no longer in play. They're going to be popped by one, leaving Nello alive. Last time we saw the Cotted playing in this position, it was odd to see the operator anyways because of the amount of soft walls that have been set, and Vitaly will eliminate Nello, as there's only one shell left for the shotgun. Nowhere near enough, and just fires knowing exactly where his opponent is at. You're kind of expecting someone to be playing behind the couch. And here we are. Round 6 and a potential tie, actually.
It certainly could happen. I mean, Bar's been very strong for Navi, like hands down. Reading, not so much. They lost it twice now. They did win Kitchen, though. So this is something that Chaos can adapt to in terms of how they play it. But again, they're not bringing any operators that, to me, show that they're really like adapting to what Navi are doing. And again, it surprises to not see the shield play from a team so strong at it, especially in some of these rounds where it would work in their favor. I mean, Kitchen is definitely one where SSG showed the strength of pushing with the Monty with cover fire from the windows. It's such a strong play, especially if they're going to open up tons of walls. As long as you don't expose yourself to a lot of those open soft walls, you can be peeking right in and calling out their positions, putting pressure on them to move. So either way, though, Chaos obviously just need to play a little bit better here. Secretly really needs to stay alive because Thermite is very strong on this particular bomb site. Being able to open up the freezer, for example, when Nello's reinforcing right now, is a very strong play, as well as being able to open up the bakery wall from behind the counter, which looks like they're going with the old mirror strat again on that, keeping it soft. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
It seems like when you play like those standard mirror or standard reinforcement strats, Chaos know what's happening, how to expect things. But when the mirror is in play, not really. I don't believe that there's many teams that are scrimming with the AWP, actually.
Well, the upside is Navi are showing other teams why they should continue to ban Mira, in case they were wondering. Crips trying to at least help clear again. He seems to be the entry frag at the moment, which, I mean, Crips is a very strong entry fragger too, so not a surprise. It's just, again, secretly was so strong an entry frag as well. Putting him on a hard breach roll is baffling considering the number of times he's been the opening kill, and a Thermite should never be the opening kill. Or opening death, however you want to phrase it. I don't know, it's been a bit of misplays, but at least they've managed to get 2 rounds and they're 1 from a tie, so it's not the worst. But they brought those back a lot of times by fragging out players like Red Groove and Vitolin especially. Has been doing good on the Buck, so I'm not saying you have to put Secretly on the Buck, but putting him on the Thermite seems like a mistake, and that's been proven out so far.
So see if Chaos can recover from this, as last time they put a lot of emphasis on taking control of the second floor and making sure that they can play from basically your steam room downstairs, coal, mining, whatever you'd like to call it. That's a great position for a Buck or a Sledge or whatever it may be. You have breaching charges as well on the IQ. I don't know if we can check on that for just a moment here, Marcio.
Oh, Citizen's flank here is going to be important. Oh, no, he gives away his position with that shot, fortunately. But they have to worry about him now. That means they have to control the top 2 floors to make this attack, because they can't sit here and aim downwards if they leave Citizen alive upstairs. I like the bulletproof camera as well to be able to watch him, but there we go. Nice pick by Vitolin. You know he's upstairs there. You guys either need to C4 the heck out of the roof and pressure him out, or just be very careful the angles, because it's not just straight above you that you have to worry about. It's longer angles like the one that you see him fighting. Not to mention he's taking those soft walls and opening up more to use them.
And this is what Citizen is going to try to do here, just putting pressure on his opponents. Classic positions will be opened up here in the back, and it looks like they push with the Thermite from the freezer, which works well, of course, considering the fact that Vitolin is concerned about dining. Turn around. We should be able to spot the back of the Buck, and here's the head. Citizen with 1. He's going to get pushed from both angles. He finds 1 kill, and the AQ is going to run away. Now this wall works completely against you. Oh, Devin, they work both ways. Saves will find 1 on Crips. He's down on the floor, and Red Groove pushes in. As Saves finds Secretly. Shotgun in hand, but Red Groove is going to win that gunfight. 1 second left. He's going to go for the plant. Should have some time, but Nello will turn around, and he'll find him. Here we go. The kill. Navi secure the first half. 4-2. Man, losing that floor, that second floor, was just awful.
Yeah, Citizen completely saved that round for them. I mean, to be fair, they weren't losing it yet, but they were not in the best position. They had lost a few of their critical site defenders. But his flank, like I said, that was going to be the game changer, because you cannot just leave someone above you like that the whole time, because especially if he's got time to move, because you're so focused on your execute at that point, he can just crouch walk all the way up to you. And timing did work out for him, so. We'll see the side switch now, though, and a gridlock come out from Navi, something a little bit different. So they exactly want to counter that. So I love that, Citizen goes for those long flanks. So you know what they bring? They bring the Gridlock to shut that down. So the same thing doesn't happen to them. And Citizen bringing one of his best operators, Zofia. And honestly, I was thinking about it. That's really the role. If you're going to put Vitolin on the Buck, they should have put secretly on the Zofia. I mean, yes, you lose the hard breach if you don't play him, but honestly, when did they actually get to hard breach most of the time? It almost never happened.
Yeah.
Well, they're also going to bring a pulse here on defense, something a little bit different as well. But they're going to go with the Mira, but no Echo. So just some small change-ups here and there. Secretly, I got to imagine, going to either play upstairs and rotate down or just start downstairs in the middle floor to be able to play those C4s up. Very useful. Redgroove, unfortunately, taken already about a quarter of his HP off. Not a great start, especially if they're able to get some nades in here. Try and move him out of his position. Although they don't have like regular grenades, it's going to have to be Zofia's. But still, those aren't bad. You can angle those the way you want to. Just throw some flashes in first to clear up ADS. Not a big deal. Redgroove going to continue his setup though. It's going to be important that they're able to... Jeez, it's a drone graveyard right there. Just stacking them all up in that one spot.
It's a safe spot, right?
Oh, the attempt to run out completely works. Wow, that's the Gridlock down. And now Crips can roam a little more freely, which I imagine he'll do.
Would make a lot of sense. And yeah, the Gridlock, pretty big operator for Kafe, just because you can secure literally
and
the
their
two
smokes
circuits.
Are gone now.
Yeah, it's what do?
You die?
Not yet. At least that's the plan for Navi. I know. I don't know what happens in the minds of a pro, but...
This is one of those times where you wonder that right there.
Yeah.
He's trying to get that specific spot.
Yeah. It's like you have to hit it at the 45-degree angle.
Yeah, it's tricky to find those little vault spots.
So you found the bomb.
Good. Yeah, well, that's important. You do eventually need to find that to be able to plant.
We'll drop in from Citizen on the Zofia, and it'll continue to drone on in. It's being watched by secretly downstairs. It's odd to see that Navi, unlike Chaos, are not putting much priority on clearing the bottom floor in any roam play, which was at least some sort of priority for Chaos.
I gotta wonder if that Thatcher was close enough to disable the pulse temporarily as well. Not that he's gonna be like, oh, I don't know where they're at now. But at the same time, it's always nice when that you get that side effect. Secretly though, nope, undeterred. Gonna be hanging out and train probably the whole time, just calling things out here, waiting for that perfect C4 time. And that's a good patient pulse. That's the way you should be playing. Crips, though, with a second, able to roam freely and doing some work with it. He's taking a lot of damage, but 2 kills for it. And one of them being the Thatcher, although I think most of the EMPs have gone off, if not all of them. But that's still a gun, and an important one, because you've seen a lot of Thatchers who can frag out pretty well. So that's still a great kill. Seeing Kendrew not able to necessarily open a lot of hard walls other than red, but he is going to be the one to go for the plant. Already taking a bit of damage doing so.
Secretly is going to be dropped on the floor here thanks to saves. And they're checking around. They're unsure if they want to kill the Pulse at this point in time. They'll find renewals, actually, eliminate the Mute. And the Pulse will be saved for just a bit. But Saves is coming around. Might be able to find 2 kills off of this. As Navi are going for the late round roam clear. But his opponents will run away. And Secretly might be keeping tabs on Saves here. Is running up white stairs. He hasn't made any noise yet, but the instant he hits the barbed wire, it's all gonna go sour. The Mira turning around. Oh, Redgroove walks right into Citizen, and Saves coming in from behind. Crips with another frag to make it a double kill for both Citizen and Kendrew. All up to Secretly, but Citizen flicks around and finds it. My man, this guy has been on absolute fire. 5 rounds now.
Navi
2.
Tearing it up. Again, this map pick was not a good choice for Chaos, especially if they're not really playing to their strengths. This is it's looking really great for Navi, though. They are playing this fantastically, and just, I don't know, a lot of again, questionable choices. At least in my opinion, for Chaos.
I have to question, first of all, I'll start by questioning something that Navi did or didn't really do, which is that roam clear.
Absolutely, especially when you have the Jaeger getting away with so much early on. But that's the thing, is they didn't have enough manpower to clear effectively once he was able to get some work done. And no one's bringing roam clear operators, as you mentioned in the early rounds for Chaos. Navi are making the same mistake, and it's biting both teams in the butt, especially when the Jaeger is free to roam. He's doing his thing, gets his stuff set up, and then goes on the roam. Citizen and Doki, though, definitely doing some work for the team. Vitolin, he's not always a top fragger, but he is certainly at least pulling his weight this particular match. It's some of the other players I wonder about. Secretly on the Legion, though, I gotta imagine this is where we might see him make some plays finally. And Red Groove on the Echo, he's had some mixed success. He was someone that we would identify as a very good Echo player before, but I feel like when we saw him recently, and there might have just been the qualifiers I'm thinking of, he struggled a bit on the Echo. He wasn't as effective as we were anticipating. We'll see. Nello could stay alive a little bit longer this time and cut off those rotates. They might not have to worry about the roam clear, and that's what I gotta imagine that's what their strategy was we're not gonna bring a roam clear operator, we'll bring a roam denial operator with the gridlock, but that being the first pick last round certainly didn't help Navi.
Exactly.
Nonetheless, they outgunned them and won that. And that's the thing, is Navi are a very good gunner team, and that helps. You had 3 really good gunners on the team, as you saw from the stats earlier. And I think that kind of saves the day when the strats just aren't working out so great.
It's understandable the amount of support then Navi gets, at least from the players themselves, is
Certainly
a team that is coming from Challenger League and is definitely proving themselves today and throughout this whole season. So far as, I'll remind you, this is the final play day of this half of the season.
Of the half. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of like it doesn't qualify you or disqualify you, but it certainly makes it much harder to qualify in the second half.
Exactly. There's a big break until mid-September, until we're back in the Pro League. And on top of that, Rally Major and changes to the game in between. Renault's, oh man, finds the kill on Citizen.
Again, the roamer, the Jaeger on the roam.
Now, what's with the Jaeger players?
Right? This is why you ban them, shut them down. There's some gridlock coming out, though. The track's getting deployed now because he's actually still alive. Very important. There's also a Claymore for Doki here that could be important later if he's able to set that up. Usually, you know, the Claymore is going to be good, for example, on red stairs. Laser blends in, although, you know, they're going to know it's there most of the time. But Doki on the crouch. We're seeing a lot, especially in red hallway, crouch hunts. Just crouch walks everywhere. Kendrew, in the meantime, though, the trade on to renewals, it is a better exchange for Chaos because they have the time advantage, as well as, you know, losing to Zofia.
Oh my
but
God.
secretly really punishing them.
Thank God he got that kill. That was a bit too close for comfort.
That's diffuser down as well.
And now Gumine should be deployed in and around this.
You just throw it right on the diffuser, and then as soon as they pick it up, you'll know.
Yeah, there you go. That's one Gumine down on the floor, and Doki will need some support by his teammates. Oh, he's hiding right behind the Christmas tree. What has Santa Claus left you this morning?
Oh.
It's a team kill. Another kill for Secretly. And he's staying on his own next to the tree. But Doki finally will pick up the diffuser. Unfortunately, he's the only one left. Vitaline has gas canisters aplenty. And there's still Red Groove with a Yokai, and you're so low on the Twitch. Right now, you go up through a burning flame in that kitchen, and you are pretty much shish kebab.
This is dunzo for Doki, unfortunately. He's going to try, though. And that's the thing, is just keep your head in the game. Oh, that's certainly not going to help with that.
Oh, another Gumine.
Now they know where he's entering from as well. Smoke's going to delay him. Can't vault over.
10 seconds left.
And Yokai Drone's coming, and he's dead. There you go.
Not much you can do in that situation, but you're certainly... I mean, you have 2 choices. You either try and really keep your focus, keep your mentality good, and just try and clutch it out, and know that you put in your best effort, and just carry on to the next round, or you just call it, go hide somewhere, and talk about the next round. Either one is really fine in terms of keeping your mentality. What you don't want to do is get tilted. You just need to make sure you don't do anything really dumb and then feel frustrated, and then your mentality goes down the drain. Especially when you have the lead that Navi has. That team kill certainly doesn't help with that mentality, as I'm talking about. But great defense by Chaos. They managed to get a lot going on, especially with that early kill by Renewals on the Jaeger. That really helped out. So far, those early Jaeger kills are doing a lot of work for Chaos, even if they're not always leading to a round win. And again, no roam hunt being brought by Navi. They're going again with the same roam denial instead. With the gridlock, it did help a bit last round in that the Jaeger was only able to get 1 kill before getting hunted down himself. But we'll see how things go in reading. Things could be a bit different here. Now this is their 3rd bomb site. In theory, attackers always a little bit more favored on the 3rd bomb site because there's a reason it's 3rd. It's not your preferred bomb sites. It's just the one you have to go to if you do well on the other ones. But to be fair, Chaos could go to Bar again, which honestly, with how strong Bar is versus the other sites on this map, they really should have just gone to Bar again.
Yeah.
Because going to your 3rd bomb site, when you're already behind on points, that's just too big of a risk, especially when you know how they attack bar. You can adapt to that. So just another confusing play by Chaos in terms of what they probably should be doing, but at the same time, we can't hear their comms. We don't know exactly how their decisions are being made. Could be factors we can't consider. See, though, Kendrew can stay alive longer than Secretly, as he also had died fairly early last round. Nello gonna have to also try and stay alive. He's playing risky in terms of like situations where he's not really doing a whole lot right now, but at the same time could get jumped out on. Really, maybe he should be on the roof doing some droning for his team to be able to get some idea where people are playing at and then cut them off after that. Secretly going to do what he did last time, which is just provide intel for his team.
Yep, no Nitro Cell in play just yet. Citizen will set up a drone downstairs just to watch the hallway rotations, and this is what Nello was designed to do with that gridlock.
This is going to really help keep Secretly in his place, too.
We'll see if the gridlock is going to be as bad as what it is in LA. Or San Francisco. Or Beijing, which is pretty
Or New York,
terrible.
or many other
Big cities.
Yeah.
Populous cities, yes. Nello will open up an extra hole here to watch all the way down into the train yard, and Doki will find Crips. And that's the entry kill that you're looking for, and a pretty darn big one. Not only a big fragger for the team, but also the Legion. Breaching charges will be detonated, at least one of them here next to the reinforced hatch. And the Pulse is sitting downstairs. Secretly is not taking any damage just yet. Nitro, unfortunately, will miss.
He's keeping them busy, though. Credit Secretly. He's not died. He was providing intel. He's keeping them distracted. He's keeping Nello busy. This is not bad at all. And Doki going to take down another member there. That's Secretly, unfortunately.
Oh!
Doki on 2.
Ho, ho, ho! Here we go. Doki's hitting shots, and it's Vittling. Down on the floor. Going in for another one. Doki, another headshot. The quad kill. Last one alive is Renault's. Man, Doki here is looking for the ace.
That's where you wish you had a Doc on attack so you could just stim him up and just let him go.
No need for a Doc when you got a Doki, and Renault's going to be spotted and finished off by Citizen. A flawless round by Navi, and a 4K from Doki-san.
And that's match and map point as well for Navi. Clearly, this is their map. This is definitely a team that you don't want to take to Kafe if you can help it. It's definitely not the play. Although, I mean, I gotta wonder. So, Chaos are going to Raleigh, if I remember correctly, right?
No.
No? No, that's right. They were trying to qualify it. Yeah. So, they don't have anything they have to save. They didn't need to play this map. They could have played one of their better maps.
I was expecting Clubhouse. To be honest, Clubhouse and Coastline were the two maps on my mind. And yet suddenly we come to Kafe Dostoyevsky, which...
Yeah, Coastline would have been the better play. They 7-4 G2 on it. So if you're going for a 7-4 on G2 the way that Navi did on this map, that definitely would have been a much better map for you. But
well, guarantees 1 point for Navi at the end of the day. They're definitely big contenders in Europe. No.
Actually, looking at the bans, though, that was the very first ban by Navi was Coastline. So that's why. They shut that down.
Clubhouse. Who banned Clubhouse?
Clubhouse was banned by... am I reading this correctly?
Are you?
I'm not sure. No, I think it was banned by... no, I'm looking at the wrong one. That was banned by Chaos? I don't know if I'm reading this correctly or not. I'm confused now because it seems... Well, I just don't know what the ban order being displayed in what I'm looking at is. It was the second ban is what it looks like. But it could have been, the way this is displayed, it could just be the second ban by Navi, so.
5 seconds left.
Hard to say. We'll try and confirm that, though, as we don't have the the graphics still up or anything like that.
No, we asked production. They're going to save her day. Don't worry.
Yeah, I didn't write down the ban order, so.
So Chaos is going to run the same setup as we saw from Navi. This is, you might be looking at this as, oh, this is new. This is actually like as old as time itself when it comes to this game. Kix was playing something similar to this in year one with no Mira, of course, but very similar to it.
This is where Habana was often played, and Habana is actually banned, so that helps. So it's, I guess,
Navi banned Coastline and Bank.
So it was Chaos that banned Clubhouse then. Okay.
All goes the mind.
Let's tally up the mistakes today from Chaos. All right, well, we'll see.
Thank you, production.
How things go. Yes, thank you to production for confirming that for us. Good to make sure that we have those bans written down correctly. But now I know how the bans orders are displayed on the sheet I have. Doki gonna try and push in on this Echo Drone, actually firing a bit early. Helps.
Oh! Secretly beautiful play and
Wow.
a headshot on a Kendrew. Secretly finally popping off as a Yokai is being ferried again here in support. Secretly another one. They're just lining up for him. And the man is hungry for more. What's the secret behind your plays? Please tell me, Senpai. What is
He's
this?
trying to make up for all those attack rounds in one round. He's gonna try and ace it from these stairs. You have a smoke, just cover yourself so you can rotate to Cigar.
Gridlock is doing work here, but Crips will find saves and Nello is on his own. Goes for the reload and sets up another set of tracks here as the drone will get taken away. Secretly sitting back here and safe in his position. Misses one headshot, but
He can even safely take out a chunk of these gridlocks, the tracks, without being contested, because it's not like he's going to give away his position.
still pre-firing, and Nello's on his own. This round is as good as lost for Navi.
Yeah.
Chaos are on the back foot, but they're definitely fighting back. And this is a very difficult edge here to fire into. Facility used in, and finally secretly eliminated, but not before he puts Nello down to 26 HP. And now Chaos are just going to be collecting the scraps of what's left of their Aussie.
I mean, at this point, I would just talk about the next bomb site. Let them win this one because it's their best site, and just plan for the next one.
I assume that's what's going down in the head of Navi in preparation, and here you go. Crips will eliminate Nello, and Chaos go up an extra round.
So far, a bit defensive-sided to an extent, but overall, Navi's still doing stronger on both sides. Chaos at least bringing it back. They've won half their defensive rounds. And Kitchen and Bar, and that's why I was saying, why didn't they go to Bar before? For exactly that reason. They won it still. So they could have given themselves a lead, a catch-up point earlier on, rather than risking reading, which just did not work. And that, of course, is why they're going to go to Kitchen, because it is the one site they have successfully defended. They couldn't go to it earlier because they'd won it. Now they go to it again. And, I mean, I was going to say I question why they're not bringing a buck on Navi, but they do at least have the shotgun from Gridlock, but we're not seeing it used that way. Nello really needs to open up those same angles that we saw Vidalin taking advantage of on this attack. You don't have to watch them. Just open them. Create the pressure, make them have to watch and worry about their positioning from above, because that forces them to have to constrain themselves to certain positions inside the site. Then you can take advantage of that to pressure them the way you want to. But I don't know. They, play it the way you want it, I suppose. Play your own game, but at the same time, you have the shotgun. Why not take advantage of it? I mean, especially if you don't have a buck. But they will be able to cut off the rotates. And that I think is again important. So you have Gridlock, right? You go, first thing you do, you drone for your team. Second thing you do, you start setting up those gridlocks on the stairs so no one can rotate to the middle floor. Then step 3, you start opening the floor with the shotgun without them being able to rotate to do anything against you the way that, for example, we saw Citizen do as Jaeger. All of a sudden, you have a good advantage just from the gridlock. We'll see, though, what they want to do with that. We'll see what Nello's job is going to be. Good utility, though, in that they're still bringing the IQ to deal with this Yokai from Red Groove. So that will definitely be a factor when push comes to shove in the site. He's likely to try and sit in a somewhat secure spot where it's going to be difficult to get him out. They are going to bring the Thermite again, so they can start opening up angles. And Chaos don't bring the Mira for this site for some reason. They're just going to play without it, and that's going to offer some opportunity to be able to play. Because that's likely there's going to be, I mean, I didn't see for sure, but that means there's going to be more hard walls that can then be opened. But Navi, in the meantime, already getting an initial kill onto Secretly, and that's less goo mines, which is definitely going to help if time becomes an issue. So Navi on a great start to try and close this match out in their favor. But at least they have some buffer if they can't win this round again. Because this is, again, the only defensive site Chaos have won prior to the last bar win. So they wouldn't be able to go to either, and they'd be forced to reading again. So after that 2K from Citizen, even if they lose this round, I feel like Navi've got this match potentially in the bag.
They definitely should. Crips Nitro Solid already been used and to no avail. We'll try to contest here from the small bakery into the hallway. Nobody pushing red anytime soon. Oh, hello.
Hey. Good night for Crips. This is looking bad.
Too many chips, my man.
2 delaying operators left, though. But a minute 23, you're not going to delay for that long. Against 5 untouched. Untouched, they haven't taken any damage, and Vidalin's already almost is dead now.
Citizen will get one, but Red Groove, the 2K on the saves, and Citizen. It's something as he takes a tiny bit of damage. The wall should get opened here by the thermite. I'm not sure if it was already open. I heard an explosion in the back.
The adrenaline Red Groove must be feeling right now.
Oh, Kender will take a bit more damage, but he's going to go for the plan, and damage taken here by Nello, but he'll win out the gunfight, and that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Navi victorious against Chaos.
So that's 3 7-4s now for them on Kafe.
They're a pretty good Kafe team, to say the least. We'll see. Maybe they can play against Rogue one day.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a real... They're the gatekeepers.
Yeah. At least you know going into the second half which map to not take Navi to. But there's going to be a big break. Of course, they could take some time to come up with other strats.
15 kills for Citizen.
Ooh,
oh
and
my
Doki,
Lord.
13 as well. This is Navi with a very strong match. And I feel like Navi, while they were playing very, very well, Chaos also just did a lot of questionable things, starting of which going to this map. Banning Clubhouse, a good map for them.
Honestly, I was talking about it only a couple hours ago. Like, I'm pretty sure they're going to play Clubhouse. I get the coastline ban from Navi. It makes sense. A really strong map from Chaos. But just go to Clubhouse. Why are you going to Kafe?
I mean, to be fair, the only time, if I'm looking at this correctly, that Chaos played Clubhouse this Pro League season during Pro League itself, they did lose it because it was, I believe, 3-7 against Empire. But that's against Empire. So, I mean, I'm not surprised to see them lose it then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter now because hindsight's 2020. Chaos can't do anything about it at this point.
Nope.
They can just kind of, wait for the second half, bide their time as we concluded. They didn't make it to Raleigh. I don't know why that slipped my mind in terms of the fact that they were the big contender for it. Although I got to say, we all kind of expected them to go. So, we'll see.
All right, well, we have an interview lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a quick chat with Doki.
Hi. Oh.
Hello, beautiful.
Oh. Okay.
How are you, Doki? Congratulations.
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. I'm on my phone. So,
I couldn't have ever understood or known that that was the case. I thought it was just the camera was a bit too high. Though, Navi Chaos, pretty close game. We all expected it to be this way, but I have to ask about a specific thing that you guys were doing on your attack once you switched to it. Chaos were clearing out, or at least trying to clear out the roam early on in the round. You guys were not specifically doing that. Was there a reasoning behind it? What was your priority in the checklist?
So the only problem on the roam that Chaos kind of showed us was the pulse and the C4s below. So that was the main thing that we were worried about. So if we just held the flanks, they can't really do anything on the roam. So we did that. We held white stairs and we held red stairs, and in essence it's like a 3v5 on site because the guys in roaming they're trapped, So that was our kind of thought process behind that.
So I want to ask you a more technical question. You've seen a lot of thermites die literally the instant they open that piano wall from red, right? What's your take on a way to try and save the thermite for him to not die in that position?
I think getting off of red stairs is really important. So even if you need to go into cigar, if it's clear, or go down red stairs, it's always better because you can be C4'd from not only piano but from below an engine through the floor, etc. Or you can just rappel on the west-south windows and you can just cut off the guys trying to push you in essence. So yeah, that's what we do.
In essence, theoretically, that's how it should work, right?
Yeah, I mean it's Siege, so nothing really works as planned. But yeah, that's how it's meant to work.
So I was not really surprised to see you bringing out the Mira strategy. For a lot of people that might not be too familiar with the strat, it's a bit of an older one, but can you kind of shine some light on the strat, as on UKFA we haven't really seen much of it?
I'm going to be honest, we made that strat yesterday, and it was kind of let's try something, because one of our scrim partners wanted to play with Mira. So we did that, and we actually quite liked it. So yeah, we're now a Mira team.
Honestly, it was... You guys should be happy that it wasn't really banned. This is EU, okay?
Yeah.
We don't do that over here. All we do is ban Mira and reverse repel, and that's the strategy in Europe.
We still reverse repel though, so...
There you go. Keeping it up. Good job. At least the UK is part of Europe for a bit. Though, anything you'd like to say to the fans after your victory here, Doki?
Just thank you to everybody that's been supporting us over the past weeks. I know we've had not the best results, especially not qualifying for the major, so that's been kind of rough on everyone, I guess. But we're still grinding hard and we're still playing good, I think. So yeah, and obviously thank you to Navi, who we're at boot camp right now.
Hello.
There's the whole team.
You're in Kiev.
So yeah, we're in Kiev.
Oh, nice.
So obviously, thanks to Navi for this opportunity. We really appreciate it and stuff. So yeah, thanks guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Doki. Congratulations again. We'll see you after a break in September. Good night.